Maîtres du Temps has returned with Chapter 2. This exciting venture sees Daniel Roth and Roger Dubuis joining myself, Peter Speake-Marin, together in collaboration. Each of us brings our own wealth of history and experiences that have been bound together to create the world's most legible triple calendar mechanical wristwatch.
Ça fait 10 ans que je travaille tout seul dans mon atelier.
I have been working alone in my workshop for 10 years now, happy with my work and finding it very interesting. Then I was asked to be part of the team of masters for Maîtres du Temps. I hesitated at first, but then realized that it could only be beneficial. It would be enriching to work with others, to learn what happens, to contribute, and to do something good.
So Daniel, why did you become a watchmaker?
Quand j'étais un jeune enfant, on habitait à Nice.
Well, when I was a young boy, I lived in Nice, France. My grandfather was born in La Chaux-de-Fonds and went to watchmaking school there, opened a small watch repair shop in Nice. As a child, I followed him around in his shop and played with his tools. I took pleasure in discovering what it was to be a watchmaker. I was fascinated by the special tools and the small machines, so I wanted to get to know them better. All of this, little by little, drew me into the world of watchmaking.
I was living in London and studied at Hackney Technical College.
Je suis allé à l'école technique d'horlogerie dans un endroit qui s'appelle Hackney.
After graduating, I was offered a position working in watch restoration in Piccadilly. I discovered for the first time the traditional methods of fine watchmaking and restoration. I worked on some of the most famous watches in horological history. It was a very formative time. I cannot emphasize enough its importance for me as a watchmaker.
Le rêve horloger, en ce qui me concerne...
For me, the dream of being a watchmaker started at a young age. I spent my school years in a little village in Switzerland called Coursier-sur-Vevey. My destiny was my own. Normally, I would have followed my father into his carpentry business, but I was always attracted to other artisans. And one day, because I had been helping him from time to time, we restored the village clock tower together. That was where the bells were. I became fascinated with the mechanics inside the clock tower. It had a magnificent movement with an impressive grandeur. That is how I first became attracted to watchmaking. And I soon realized that this would be my life's work. The biggest difference between traditional watchmaking and modern methods is that now we can make components that are extraordinarily precise, whereas in the past that was unthinkable.
Dans le chapitre 2, nous sommes 3 artisans.
In chapter 2, there are 3 craftsmen, Peter Speake-Marin, Daniel Roth and myself. Manufacturer Vaucher is also a very important partner in the development of this watch. This combination has been very successful and the work has been enriching for all of us.
Working with Vaucher's ultra-modern technology and equipment has allowed us to make watches with highly original systems and complications, and to make them to a consistently high standard. This guarantees a collective quality that transcends conventional watchmaking.
Voilà, c'est parfait.
Ici, nous partons.
Here we have spokes that radiate out from the center towards the edge, and this wave shape recalls the Côte de Genève. All of the components are treated with the utmost care, allowing us to obtain a degree of finish that is remarkable and which is very visible.
Pour faire tourner deux rouleaux,
To make the two rollers rotate on each side of the watch, you need to really think about it. You have to find and develop solutions that are technically interesting.
To ensure sufficient force in the construction of the calendar, the transmission of power through the movement had to be very efficient to consume minimum power turning the large rollers. We had to master the horological challenge and use the latest technology. One aspect which was crucial to the design was the fabrication of the rollers in ultra-light material.
Qu'on a vraiment une fonction qui est très efficace.
Le centre de la masse.
Regarding the Chapter 2 automatic winding rotor, I designed the center of the rotor as representing a goblet, and out from that, as an engineering solution for the mass, I imagined an M for Maîtres du Temps. That was my first idea, and for me it was an important one, that we three artisans put all our knowledge and love, all that we have, into this goblet, and in drinking from it we share the pleasure of creating a wonderful timepiece that we're all very proud of.
C'est intéressant parce qu'avec la verre au centre, son concept c'était pour chaque.
It's interesting because the concept of the goblet in the middle was for each of us to symbolically place our own experiences into the movement. Each of us had put ourselves into the goblet.
Oui, donc chacun pose un-même dans le goblet.
Voilà.
Non, non, c'était très simple.
Je trouve très bien.
Ouais.
Ouais.
Chapter 2 by Mr. Daniel Roth, Mr. Roger Dubuis, and Mr. Peter Speake-Marin. Masters in their craft, a lifelong pursuit of excellence.